Okay, I'm trying this again. Good morning. I didn't delete, but I accidentally pushed stop on a video that I was doing, and it was really good. But I had gone through a bunch of stuff already, and I just messed it up. So anyway, hi again. I'm gonna shoot for this again. I'm here saying I'm at a golf course. It's a lovely day. It's very peaceful. I just had some breakfast in the clubhouse. I'm here for a few hours because my son is at golf camp, and I decided to, instead of like leaving and running around doing whatever, burning up gas and time, that I would stay here all week while he's in camp and use these 3 hours to work on my business, to accomplish some things I need to get done, focus, all that. And it's perfect because it's quiet, and so it's a great place to do it. So anyway, so I'm hopping on today because my message for you today is something that I'm walking myself through right this moment, which is showing up and doing the thing, whatever it is, even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't really know what it is you're supposed to be doing, or maybe how to best deliver it. And so, as an example, I absolutely did not plan to get online today and do a video because I didn't have anything really to talk about, and I just did one a couple days ago, and sometimes I feel like it's overkill, although I know I have not been as consistent since I've been on vacation this summer. I've been traveling, and my excuse has been, well, I'm kind of out of my element, and I don't know, whatever excuse. I don't really feel like it. I'm not looking the way I want to look, or what have you. And that is exactly the message. Okay, one comment I made earlier when this happened is that the golf course happens to be next to, hold on. Can you see that? I don't know if I caught it. Anyway, the golf course is next to an airport for private planes, or small planes anyway. Yeah, I guess that means they're private, and helicopters. So every now and then we may get some air traffic noise, but it's what it is. So what was I saying? I was talking about showing up. Oh, and how I have not been really consistent over the summer. Well, one of the things I'm trying to do is build this business, build a business, in addition to what I'm already doing, apart from this online stuff. I would like to develop this more. And by the way, thank you so much for new subscribers, for people who continue to watch and who continue to comment and offer feedback. I really appreciate that. It's very, very valuable to me, to help me know kind of what works, what doesn't work, what your questions are, all of that. And so that's not going to happen if I don't show up and give you something to think about, something to respond to. Whether you're actually responding or not, the fact that there's an audience out there and that there's some people that hopefully I can help, I can offer some value to through my own experiences, that is tremendous. So thank you for that. And that is why I need to keep showing up, whether or not I feel like it, whether or not I feel like my hair looks kind of fucked up, which I think it does sometimes, and it doesn't really matter. So that's what this is about today. This is about show up and do the thing anyway, even when you don't feel like you look your best, even when you don't feel your best, even when you're tired, even when you might be a little sick, even when you just had an argument with your man or your woman, or even when your kid is acting out, or even when your boss is on your nerves, even show up and do whatever the thing is that you need to get done. That's what the work is in getting to whatever your particular goal is, right? Go to the gym even when you don't feel like getting your ass out of bed. Do it. Right? Sure, sometimes, it's another plane, sorry. It's so cool though. Sometimes we will all fall off, right? You miss a couple days, whatever, you miss, maybe if you're really out of it, you miss some weeks, or like it's been months since you worked out. Well, then it's time for you to get back on that. I mean, for me, I know now, having begun to exercise much more regularly for the past year, that I feel like without physical activity, I'm just not right. And so now I know there are no excuses. I have to do something, at least I'd say, at least 3 times a week. Really, I feel better if I do it more. I give myself a little bit of a break because I'm traveling or whatever, but still, I can walk, I can get on the floor and do some sit-ups, so there really isn't an excuse, okay? So showing up. And, okay, so in terms of how you look, here I am. This is me today. Regular. As I said, I was not planning on hopping on a video today, and so I didn't prepare. I didn't do anything. I just dropped my son off at golf and was in the clubhouse doing some work, and then I was like, actually I was watching a video of one of my coaches, and she's like, that was her message, is like, do the damn thing. It was more than that, but one of the things she touched on was showing up, and I was like, Kelly, hello, she's speaking to you. So I was like, get online and do what you need to do. Okay, but look, what a great environment to just spend some time, right? Like, why wouldn't I do something that's going to be beneficial? So that's what's happening. Okay, so show up, do whatever it is. When you show up, be real. Be fucking real. Do not come with like the fake, I'm trying to, like, I'm not going to show up to you guys today, for example, and act like everything is great all the time in my life, because it isn't. I feel like it's much more relatable. People connect to you much more when you are just being who you are. And sometimes, you're having a bad day, you feel like crap, like I said, you had, disagreement in your household, or, your work, your business is off, your money's funky, whatever it is, you feel like your ass is too big, whatever it could be. And so, like I said today, I was like, I am not feeling like I want to be in front of people. I could look better, but who looks great all the time? Let's be real. I mentioned Oprah before when I cut off the other video. I was saying that, as we know, one of the reasons that she was so wildly popular, or is still so wildly popular, not only because she's a great businesswoman, and has now a lot of experience in knowing how to run businesses and help other people boost their businesses, but from the very beginning, she was just always super real. She was exactly who she was. Oprah didn't step out all beautified, as we know, right? I mean, she used to have like a little afro, and obviously she was heavy, and I think was stumbling with her weight for a long time. I think now she's accepted her body, and so she's much more comfortable and moving in her body. But she revealed a lot to us early on that had to be really, put her in a vulnerable position, and that a lot of people wouldn't have been willing probably to share, right? Like, for example, the abuse in her childhood, and the way that she felt about herself and her body image and her relationship to Stedman, all that stuff back and forth, and, people speculating about, well, why isn't she getting married, and he doesn't really want her, and all those kinds of things. I mean, that's hardcore. That's like, do you want people questioning your relationship or telling you how your body looks, or, but she came out with it. And I think that is why we not only came to like her, but we trusted her, because she wasn't acting like, I have it all together. Air traffic, sorry. And so even if there's someone who shows up and they are beautiful all the time, they are coming to you from like great locations or whatever, if someone's always, like, maybe you have a friend or someone in your life who's like, how are you? Oh, everything's great, everything's always fucking great. Come on. I feel like those aren't my best friends, the people who just never are real, never share. And it's not like looking for people to have, a bad time, that you want your friend to be going through some stuff. It's not that. It's just that, it's like, well, I'm going to tell you, yesterday I had an argument, or today, or, I ate way too much crap yesterday, now I feel fat, or now I don't know, whatever it is. But if there's never anything that sort of balances out the sunshine, how do you know it's sunshine? There's got to be something that balances that out. If you don't ever have rain, no one ever speaks to you about rain, then I'm not so sure that your sunshine is not just a heat lamp that you're sitting under. Does that make sense? So be real, speak your truth. It's okay to acknowledge failures. It's okay to acknowledge that at times you feel really scared or really vulnerable. I'll tell you right now, I am not always confident. I am not always feeling like I'm super well prepared. I don't always feel like I know exactly what I should be doing. Even in my business, I had a situation over the summer where someone came to me and asked me to help them with something, and I spoke to a friend of mine about it, and I was like, I'm not sure. I haven't done this type of law for a while, and I knew sort of that I would figure it out, but I was talking to him, and I was like, I don't really know, and he's like, you'll be fine, don't worry about it. And of course, and I was. I put a little bit of effort into it, and like did a little research, and talked to another person or two, some other lawyers, to just make sure I was on the right track, and I was. But I certainly have doubts about whether it's my professional ability, my looks, my success, my money, my relationships, about everything, my child. who I am as a woman. I mean, might be a little annoying. So I'm saying that there's no part of my life, I don't think, that I don't have doubts about sometimes. I had another experience recently where I was not on my best behavior, and I won't say I was like tantruming, having that, but I was just like freaking out, and really not feeling steady and everything. And a friend of mine witnessed it. I mean, he was very much privy to it, and I was like, oh my God, and I'm exposed, and he knows it's part of me, and I don't really want to show that, and how's that going to impact everything? And it was like, whatever, fuck it, I mean, if I can't, like, I wouldn't say I had a meltdown, it wasn't that extreme, but I mean, if I have to always act like I have everything together, which is what he had seen initially, I was like always together, always looking good, always just in step, cool, right? And then I had this moment where, well, it's more than a moment, I had a period where I was just like frazzled and coming unglued a little bit, and I was like, if I can't actually have those periods too, or those moments where my shit is not always together, and I don't always feel great, and I don't always look great, then fuck it, that's not a real friend, right? That's not someone who's really gonna be of any use or any value in my life. If I have to just, if I can't breathe because I'm worried that he or she or whoever it is notices that, her breath was off today, you know what I mean? Like she was acting strange or whatever, then it's better, let's find out now. And so I'm saying that. So show up, whether it's in your personal life or your business life or with your family or, some friend of yours where you don't necessarily want to say something that you're having a challenge, because you're afraid you're going to get judged, or you're afraid your friends, will prefer someone else, or whatever it is, right? So show up anyway, because the saying, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. And so far so good, by the way. We're still friends, we still communicate all the time, and so we'll see. But it seems like in this case I was talking about, he recognizes that, she's going through some shit and it's okay, and be my friend, and, we're good. Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned the word vulnerable, but if I didn't, I'm going to right now. And showing up to do the work, whether it's, again, work on your business, work on your physical body, work on your, your emotional self, healing any old wounds, work on relationships, work with your children, any of those kinds of things absolutely is going to require that you be vulnerable. I think that word gets tossed around a lot, and I think we can all recognize what it means to be vulnerable, but it means being open and like capable of being hurt. Like it's like, laying on your back with you, like a dog or whatever, with their legs out, right? Their underbelly is totally exposed, and you could easily like stab them or kick them or harm them or whatever. But to get that good rub, like to really get where it feels good, you gotta be open like that. And it can be very scary to be in that place and feel like you're gonna get judged, or someone's going to wound you or take advantage of you in some way. And the fact of the matter is that some people may, but what's the worst case scenario? Okay, so they find out something about you you didn't want them to know. Maybe they share it. Maybe they tell a secret. Maybe, whatever it is. Again, worst case scenario is, might be fucked up for a while, but really you're going to get over it. And chances are that before you just lay on your back with your arms splayed out like that, you're going to have a sense of whether or not you can, whether it's okay to go there. And that is not to be used as an excuse, like, well, I'm never going to be vulnerable until I know for sure, because there is no absolute certainty. But, you trust your intuition, and then you just have to go for it. You have to be willing to expose yourself in some ways. And I wouldn't say, go for the deepest part of you. Like, I was abused as a child right off the bat. First date, that's not first date stuff, right? Or that's not like interview material. Well, I got fired for my past 5 jobs. No, not the time. But after you develop some rapport and you've begun to see whether or not that person is capable of treating you well and showing up for you, and how they are in their lives, how they treat other people, once you are able to gauge a little of that, then I do think that at a certain point, if you desire to deepen your connection or move to another level in whatever type of relationship, then you're going to have to expose yourself. Again, look at Oprah. I mean, she didn't come on like first show, hey, guess what? I got raped as a kid, and oh, I lost a baby. And I mean, no, but after the public had come to know her a little bit and was curious about her, then she would share some of these things. She didn't remember when she pulled the wagon of fat on stage? I mean, that might have looked really strange had she done that in season 1. But by the time she did it, people were recognizing that she did have a struggle with weight and that it was sensitive for her. And so then, even though a lot of people criticized her for pulling that wagon of fat, I think people could understand that, man, she's struggling. She's trying to find, she's celebrating that she lost this weight, and, she's trying to find a way to do it. And, so it's like you can be forgiven. So vulnerability, well placed, well judged, meaning how you decide to be vulnerable and show up. It's not just random and totally ill placed. Can endear you, right? It can actually be a quality that brings people closer to you and will allow people to pardon you for missteps or, for bad behavior. That is not an excuse to continue it, but it does mean that there's just a recognition that we're all human and we're all going to mess up sometimes. We're all going to feel like shit sometimes. We're all going to look like shit sometimes, literally, physically, what have you. But that is okay. So I encourage you to be vulnerable, as you feel like you should. My vulnerability today is again showing up like this, and and yes, I did put a tiny bit of stain on my lip just because I was like, no, I cannot go all the way naked. But what can I do? I'm at a golf course. So there's not much I could do. Okay, so another piece of this showing up is being authentic, right? And that's all kind of going, I mean, all these things are like components of, it's like spokes off of the same wheel. They're all connected, but they're a little bit different, right? So authenticity is just being real. If you're going to sit and talk to me and bullshit me for an hour when we're supposed to be having like just a real laid back conversation, or we're supposed to be talking about, how do I improve in this area, or what really, if you're having, let's say, a conversation with someone, you're in a relationship, you have an intimate relationship with someone, and you're supposed to be having a conversation about how you really feel about each other, or where's this going, whatever, and you're just bullshitting me for half an hour, what is the point of that? I'm like crossing your name off of my list kind of thing. If I'm counseling you or you're counseling me in a business and I'm getting the sense that you don't really know what you're talking about and you're not willing to admit it, I don't really have time for that. It's one thing to not know the answer to a business question or to a personal dilemma. That's fine, right? Nobody knows all the answers. But tell me that. Say, Kelly, I'm not sure. I kind of feel like maybe you should go in this direction, or I kind of feel like this would be best for us to do. But don't just make some shit up because you feel like you're too embarrassed to say you don't know anything else. That's useless. Once again, where is it? There it is. So cool. My dad is a pilot. Well, he has his pilot's license, and so when I was a kid, he took me up in planes like that. My mom was like, "What are you doing? Don't ever do it again." But I kind of think it's cool to do that. I'd like to have my own plane one day. I don't want to fly it. I just want to jet and have someone else take me around the world like Drake. What's up, Drake? I'm down for a ride. So like I said, there's times, like for example in business, where I don't necessarily know exactly, like in the conversation with the client, or I get the document and I'm like, oof, what do I do? Right? Now I'm not going to go, I don't know what to do. But I'm also not going to say, oh yeah, I got everything, it's covered. I'll be like, okay, well let me take a look at this. Let me, review it. I'll get back to you. That's real. That's authentic. Like, I'm not about to give you some advice right now. If you're saying, what should I do? I'll be like, I need to take a look at this. I need to do a little research. Let me think about it. And then I'll respond to you. My gut is that, whatever. What I mentioned a minute ago, the woman said to me, she wanted to take a particular course of action with her business, and I didn't know a lot about the details, or it was very document heavy, and I had a very strong gut feeling from the beginning that she just needed to get out. And I told her, my sense is that, but I don't want to really give you any conclusive advice until I take a look at this stuff. Well, once I did, my gut was right. But, just take your time, be authentic, right? There's no need to lie about your skills, who you are, whatever. If you're on a date and your divorce is not final, do not lie and say, oh yeah, it's over. Nobody likes that, right? So be real about whatever it is. Know that whatever gifts you possess are meant to be shared with the world. So that's another reason you need to show up, right? Show up, offer what you have to the people. I'm doing this. I feel like I have a gift of gab for when I do like to talk. Sometimes it's not always very good, but I love people. I love helping people. I like to share. Evidently, I like to be on camera because I keep doing this. I didn't think I would at the beginning, but I kind of like it. I kind of like doing these videos. And I don't know where this is going. I don't know what will result. Maybe nothing. Maybe my son one day will look and go, oh, my mom did this stuff, and there's some document for him, like a chronology of things. I don't know. But, and this is one area. I mean, there's other areas or things that I feel I'm good at. But whatever it is that you feel kind of called to do in life, or whatever you love, if you don't feel like you have a calling necessarily, but there's certain things you love to do, that's probably a gift of yours. And so share that. Maybe you're a great tennis player. Well, maybe one day, you're at the court, like a pickup game kind of thing, and you help someone else, with their strokes. You help, you encourage someone. Maybe you offer a couple lessons to somebody for free. Maybe, whatever it is. But your gifts are meant to be shared. And that's what I mean by show up. Like, just do it. Don't wait for the quote-unquote perfect time, the perfect, person to come into your life, the perfect whatever. Show up and do your thing now as you are, because you're great now as you are. Okay, I'm trying to hurry up because I'm looking at the time. I didn't want this to be that long. Okay, so imposter syndrome, right? We all feel sometimes like, oh my God, I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really feel like I should be here. I don't really feel like I'm ready for this opportunity. I don't feel like I necessarily can step into this role. She's going to find out that I don't have the perfect body that I have. Whatever it is, we all feel sometimes like we're a little bit unprepared or inadequate or something in some way. I don't want to say it doesn't matter, like minimizing those feelings, because those feelings can be very, very real. But what I will say is that even though you feel that way, you might be like, well, who am I to, give someone else advice? Who are you not to offer what knowledge you do have? Who are you not to stand in, the light that you were divinely given? Each one of us has a light coming from us and onto us, and through us, that has nothing to do with, your actual qualifications or what your resume says, or how long your marriage lasted, or what your weight is. It doesn't matter. It's your soul, it's your heart. Those are the things that really, really qualify you to offer who you are to the world, okay? And so begin to just offer from that place, not because, you got 18 degrees or whatever, right? Just speak from your heart. That means so much to people. Just speak from your heart, and that's always going to be good enough. And still, then you can go and develop whatever skills or develop yourself in a way that makes you feel more confident. That's great. Do that. But don't hide until then, right? Begin to show up and do your thing. Yeah, I think that's about it, you guys. Somebody needs to hear what you have to say. Someone needs to receive your gift. Someone needs to benefit from whatever it is you're going to offer to the world. Okay? Could be me. Could be your family. Could be a stranger. Could be your mate. Your mate may need to hear something from you today that's going to really make them feel like, wow, God, I was having a hard time at work. My boss was getting my ass, but the fact that she said that to me, I love you, babe, for that. Whatever it may be. Your child may need to see you showing up, doing your thing, even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't look your best, even when you don't know exactly how the presentation's going to go. Be the example. Show them it's okay. I don't have to have it perfect, but it can still go well. All right? Final thing I will say is that as much as possible, as much as you can remember and build this habit, before you speak, right, act in whatever way, commit to something, make an important decision, all those kinds of things happen before you have a conversation that is meaningful to you. Take just, even if it's just 30 seconds, and just try to be still. If it's in your car, if it's in the bathroom before you walk out and greet the day, if it's in the bed before you get out in the morning, take just a few seconds and be still and just ask for some guidance, right? Just ask for that guidance to help you show up and to know what to say and how to present yourself. I would recommend that. Mwah. Goodbye. I love you guys. I hope that helped. That's me showing up for you today. Bye.